All right. Hello, everyone. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Amanda DeMarco. I am the Market Center Tech Trainer in the Rutherford office, Keller Williams Park Views. I thank you all for joining me, whether you're tuning in live or watching this on YouTube. And today we're going to focus on generating leads by running ads on Facebook. If you've never run an ad on Facebook, don't worry, we're not going to get into anything too complicated. And the great thing to know is that you can run Facebook ads directly through command. There are some benefits to running an ad through command compared to running it directly on Facebook. First of all, there are no compliance issues. If you've ever tried to run an ad on Facebook before, you may have gotten some messages saying that something wasn't allowed to be posted. What those factors are, I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that Facebook can be a little bit strict when it comes to running ads. The beauty of running them through command is that there are no compliance issues. We have this set up for you, so everything is automatically going to be compliant and you'll never get an ad rejected. Or I should say, very small chance you should get an ad rejected. Never say never. An additional reason to use command, there are algorithms that are like super powered compared to what you can find in Facebook. Ours are specifically geared for the real estate market. We have keywords, we can narrow down the audiences, generate lead forms, and different things like that. Which brings me into our final reason why, which is direct access into command. So when you're running an ad on Facebook, you can actually tie in any leads you get into command within contacts, tags, and smart plans. And we're going to get to all of that in a little bit. Now let me go ahead and share my screen. Which window is it? Here we go. All right. Now, before we really dive in, I want to show you guys something that another agent had sent me. Her name is Crystal Khan. She is a fantastic trainer. Here she is. I am going to be honest, I don't know what area of the country she is in, but she has graciously shared some information with me. And there's one thing that I do want to pass along to all of you. When it comes to creating ads on Facebook, not all ads are created equal. And it really comes down to a lot of the time, the design and the information that you put on your ad. So she created this little graph with 4 ads and they all look really good, but can we spot the best one? Now here's example A. Is this a good ad or a bad ad? Does anyone have any guesses if this is a good ad or a bad ad? And if you are here just for listening, you don't want to pipe in, I totally understand. So I'll let you know. This is not the best ad because it includes all of this information. When someone sees this ad, they know exactly the price of the property, the details, how many beds and bath, the address, and there's also a kitchen shot as well. So I don't know her exact reasoning for this. I'm assuming it's because people love kitchens. And that's why you don't want them to see the kitchen or the address or the pricing of the details right on this ad. You want to leave them wanting more and give them a reason to click on your ad. So here's another example of an ad. And this one is a keeper because there's one photo. It's an exterior house shot. There are no specifics and it leaves them wanting more. Now, of course, the text around the ad can be more specific in terms of including, if you wanted to add in any bedroom and bathroom information, things like that. But if someone sees this and you have a really good description, it's going to make that user want to click on the ad to learn more. So sort of keep that in mind where you want to give valuable information, but you may not want to give too much away because you want to give them a reason to click on the ad, and that will help you to capture their information. So what types of ads can we run on Facebook? You can run ads that are going to advertise your listings. You can try to advertise specific areas. If you're trying to attract buyers or attract listings, maybe you want to promote yourself, that you're the favorite realtor of Rutherford, New Jersey, or even an event that you're hosting, whether it's a charitable event or just something fun that you're doing to give back to the community that you want people to attend. So don't think that it's just about listing a specific property. There are many different things that you can do to create and run effective ads through Facebook. So what I want to do with everyone is create 2 different types of ads, and we can kind of go through the process of each. I want to create an ad for a listing. And I also want to create a neighborhood ad. And I'll touch on that when we get to it. But first, let's go ahead and create a campaign that's going to be advertising a listing. So I'm currently in Command and I am in our campaign section. And what I'm going to do is click on Create Campaign. From here, we'll select Social Ad. And then I'm going to create a campaign name. So I've already picked a property from one of our agents, and the property is here in Rutherford. The address is 206 Mortimer Ave. Maybe, I don't know if it's just listed. Let's just do for sale. And we want to advertise this listing. Now, by picking these goals, this is one of those algorithm superpowers that Command has. By selecting that goal, it will really help to get your ad in front of the right audience. So this is to promote a listing and find potential buyers. Where do we want this ad to run? I would definitely suggest running it on Facebook and on Instagram. Now, even if you don't have an Instagram account, you can still run an ad on Instagram through your Facebook business page. This is one nice thing about the Meta company, where both Facebook and Instagram are sister companies. And we will see exactly how this will be set up in just a moment. So I'm going to click on Create Campaign. Right away, it's going to pop up to find a property address. Now, I am going to use this function for right now. The second ad, we're not going to do this. But for now, we're going to find a property, and this allows us to pull information directly from the MLS. So I'm going to go to All Listings, and I'm actually going to search by MLS number. So here's the listing that I want to use. It's refreshing. So this is listed by our Premier Villa Group right here in Rutherford, New Jersey. I'm going to come here and copy this MLS number, come back into my campaigns, paste it right in, and search. So here we have our listing, and I'm going to click on Select. You'll see right away that now this listing is connected into my ad, and it's already populated an image as well as some text. When you're creating an ad, you're able to view what the ad will look like on both Facebook Web, Facebook Mobile, as well as Instagram ads or Instagram stories. So you're able to see how an ad looks on the computer versus an iPad or a cell phone. Same thing on Instagram. If you're going to run an ad through Instagram, if you want it to show up as a story, so when someone's scrolling through their news feed, it will look like this. If you'd rather have it show up, I'm sorry, this is a post. It'll show up like a post on your newsfeed. Too many terms. If you wanted it to show more like a story where someone's scrolling through everyone's stories that are typically only live for 24 hours, you can run it that way as well. Now, I'll be perfectly honest, at this point in time, I really don't know which one would be more effective in terms of being it in the feed or being in your story. But this is a great idea of something you can do to run what we call A/B testing. So that's when you create an ad, and you run it, and then you'll duplicate that ad, but make just a few small changes, and then you can see which ad performs better. So if you want to have a different copy in a second ad, a different picture, a different placement in Instagram, you can see which ad will perform better, and that's again called A/B testing. So just something you guys can think about for the future. So now what we're going to do is put in some text here. What I love about pulling the ad from the MLS is that it does take some of the description directly from the MLS description. Craftsman Colonial in the heart of Rutherford, centrally located near shops, schools, public transportation. This home offers amazing curb appeal with its wraparound front porch. I'm going to go back into the MLS here. This isn't my listing. So it looks like first floor, office formal living room, upgraded kitchen. There's a lot of really nice stuff. Ooh, a wine cellar, jacuzzi room. Guys, I think we all got to go check this house out, but this looks really nice. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the copy because I don't want to take up everyone's time, but you can, add in some of those standout features. This home offers amazing curb appeal with its wraparound front porch, upgraded kitchen, wine cellar. There we go. Jacuzzi room and more. Then we're going to put in our headline. And what I do love about, I spelled jacuzzi wrong. Is that how you spell it? Yes, it is. Okay. So once we make some edits to our copy, we're actually able to see how our ad is going to change and look in real time. So you get a really good idea of what everything is going to look like. Now it's time to add the headline, and you'll see where this headline goes right here. So, we can say maybe that this is where's our beds and baths here? Where are our total beds and baths? All right, I'm just going to make this up because I don't want to take up too much time. So your headline can say beautiful 4-bed, 3-bath colonial. Now notice how I run out of text. This we are a little bit limited with the text here. So we can be a little more creative. Still too much. That's okay. Again, I didn't spend too much time preparing the copy, but you guys can spend a little bit extra time making sure that it reads well and fits in the spaces. Next up, you'll see a description. Now, the description may not show in all instances of the ad. So for example, Facebook will dynamically show the description based on their algorithm to improve performance of the ad. What does that mean? Some people will see it, some people won't. So we really don't need to spend too much brain power thinking about what this can say. The great thing about this is that you can actually shuffle to see some suggestions of what your text could be. So as I'm shuffling through, you'll notice that this content right here will change. So if once you find one that you like, you click on use suggestion and it will input for you automatically. So once we have our copy good, we can save and then we can go to the media. Now, what's wonderful about pulling the listing details directly from the MLS is that we have access to all of the information, including some pictures. So we can then come and click on add more if we did want to add more images. So if you did want to include an image of the backyard, of the basement, of your jacuzzi room, of your kitchen even, ultimately, there is no true right or wrong way to do an ad. It's really going to be based on your preference as well as what you think is going to perform well. And it does take a little bit of practice. So over time, you'll find what ads are going to perform better than others. And then you're able to make a decision to say, okay, I know not to include this. I know I need to include that. So if you did want to add more images, you would simply click on this add more button. And as we can see, all of the images from the listing pop up right here. So if I wanted to add, let's say maybe this picture here, I can click on preview and crop, save image, and let's add one more. No jacuzzi room unless this is the shower jacuzzi, but pretty front door. Let's go with this one. Adjust that a little bit and click save image. Now, if I want to rearrange these images, I just simply click, drag, and drop. And when we are coming back to our carousel, we can actually click and scroll. And this is exactly what it'll look like as someone is scrolling on their phone, tablet, etc. The Market Center logo is automatically going to be added for us. We can choose if we want it on the right or the left of our images. Once we are good with this, we can click save. And just to note, you can also include videos as well. So if you did want to highlight, a successful event that you had, if you have a virtual tour of a home, anything like that, you can use video as well. I'm going to click on save. Now here's the fun part. This is where we can set our Facebook and Instagram settings. So first thing we want to do is select the page that we're working on. Now, one thing to note, if you don't already know, you must have a Facebook business page in order to run an ad. You cannot run an ad on Facebook advertising your personal profile. So if you have your account, you're Amanda DeMarco, you're not going to be able to run an ad from there. You need to create a business page and then run that ad from Amanda DeMarco, New Jersey real estate agent. So I'm going to select the Keller Williams Park Views page. And once I do, based on this information here, we're able to see an estimated audience. And we're going to narrow this down a bit, and we'll get to that in just a second. Now, here's where we can select where we want the ad to run on Facebook. Do we want it in the feed or in the story? I'm going to choose story. This isn't a real ad, so we're just going to click on story. Destination. Always, always use the Facebook lead generation form whenever possible. This is because someone can fill out that form and it will go directly into your command, so that person will be added as a contact. It is great because you're going to be able to capture that information of anyone who clicks on the ad and fills out that form. Even if they don't do a second step to reach out to you, fill out a form on your landing page, whatever the case may be. So that's why I highly recommend using this Facebook lead gen form. What we're going to do next is link where the user is going to go once they fill out the form. So you can create a landing page through command that you can link, or you can link it to an external site. For this example, I'm going to actually use the link for this listing. And this is my Keller Williams website here. So if you are advertising your own listing, of course you want to use your own website. That way someone will land on your page. So we're going to come back here and I'm going to, get those double out of the way. It is checking to make sure everything is good to go, which will be fine in just a second. And while we wait for that to go through, we'll scroll down just a little bit to the audience. There are 3 different audiences that you can have, or that are available, I should say. An auto audience, where Facebook will automatically choose the best ads for you. And the targeting, Facebook will automatically deliver your ad to the audience based on their behaviors and interests. But we can go a step further, and this is where we can create a custom audience. You see already when I went to auto audience, this number is going to change. So this is 7,100,000 people. When I go to custom audience, it bumps up to 7,800,000 people because my radius increased by 5 miles. But we can include interests, and that is how we can narrow down our audience and target people who are truly interested in this ad. We're going to click on add interests, and then we can begin to search for some interests. And here are some that you guys can use for the future. I'm going to type in house. I'm going to select house and house hunting. I'm going to search for mortgage. I'm going to select mortgage loans and mortgage calculator. Next up, I'm going to type in pre and pre-qualification. Should show up. There we go. Pre-qualification for lending. We also can use loan, home equity loan. Actually type in the word equity, home equity line of credit, anything that relates to the real estate world. Finally, I'm going to type in luxury. They must have gotten rid of that one. Luxury property used to be an option as of a few days ago, but looks like that's not available right now. That's fine. Once I click save, we will now see that I have 9 different interests, and that has lowered my audience pool to 4,700,000, which is still a ton of people. So what I'm going to do is narrow down my audience. This allows me to include additional interests, and in this section, I'm going to put in Zillow and Premier Agent, Zillow Trulia, and Realtor.com. By putting in this additional line of targeting, we are saying that we are targeting people who are interested in house hunting and Zillow, or house hunting and Realtor.com. So essentially, when we're talking about targeting, we're saying we're targeting blank, so house or house hunting or mortgage loans or mortgage calculator. So anyone who has expressed interest in any one of these interests, that, you know, they'll be in this very big target pool. But when we narrow it down, we're going to include the and. So someone has to be interested in home equity and realtor.com, home equity and Zillow. Now, because I narrowed down this field, we now see this didn't go down. That is surprising. Well, there's certainly a lot of people in this area. You can narrow it down even further if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend going too crazy. If you narrow it down even further, it may cost you more per lead, but at least you know that those leads are going to be very qualified, but you're just probably not going to get as many leads. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to take out one of these and see if that changes anything. It does not. That's fine. We're learning together. Now, it took me a few minutes to get all of this together here. And I don't want to have to do this every single time I run an ad. So what I can do is save this audience. So the location within 25 miles of Rutherford. This is the detailed targeting, which must also match one of the below. And I'm going to name this audience Rutherford home buyers and save. This way, whenever I want to run an ad, I can come right up here to saved audience, and I'm actually able to select an audience that I have predetermined in the past. So here's another one that I had created. So, and this has a couple other options here. This is actually a little bit less, but I actually can come here and edit it as well. But I'm going to stick with the one that we just created, and I'm going to click on save. So now we see our Facebook and Instagram settings. That's good. It's been checked off. Lead settings. This is a phenomenal area that not too many people are taking advantage of. This allows us to automatically tag and or add a contact to a smart plan once they fill out that Facebook lead form and are added into our contacts in command. So if you wanted to set up a tag, you can select a tag that you've already created, or you can even create a new tag. So maybe we want to have Facebook ad lead, maybe we want it to be May 2022. Maybe you want it to be the exact day, the property, just Facebook ad lead 2022, whatever you want, however your tags are organized to help you, help your workflow work the best it can for you. So I'm going to just make this Facebook lead for 2022. I'm going to create a tag, love the color purple, and add. So I have now created this tag, and anyone who comes to my ad, fills out that lead form, and is added into my contacts will automatically have this tag added to them. You can do the same thing with smart plans. Now, you have to have the smart plan already downloaded in your command and have it ready to go. But let's say, hypothetically that this is a Facebook ad follow-up, which there are ones that are already created. I would simply just click on the smart plan, and now someone who fills out that lead form will not only get that tag, they'll also automatically be added onto the smart plan. So it kicks off that automated communication and messaging to your contact. I'm going to click on save. Now what we're going to do is come into the duration and budget, and this is where you can, make your own decisions, especially when you're first starting out. You can choose to either have the money that you put in distribute evenly across 2 channels, or use automatic placements for Facebook and Instagram ads. So this means that Facebook is going to use their algorithm to spend the ad money based on how the audience is interacting and how the ad is performing. So you can set a budget and allow Facebook to optimize your spend to gather impressions. And an impression is a view of the ad, essentially. So when someone views the ad, but they don't click on it, that's called an impression. It is up to you. And again, you can do a little A/B testing. Maybe you want to try distributing the money evenly. Maybe you want to try using this dynamic ad placement the second time. Completely up to you. But you can come up here to set how long you want the ad to run. Please note that whenever you're running an ad, you won't be able to have it start on that day when you're creating the ad. You will have to plug in at least the next day. So if you're planning on doing an open house on Saturday, don't wait until Friday to put the ad in. Get it in a few days before, because you want it to get in front of more people and generate those eyes and that interest. So let's say I want to start this ad on Friday and I want to run it through Wednesday. So this is 5 days, and I can put in my budget here. If I do $30, it's going to do $6 per day. If I were to do $300, it's $60 per day. Or if we're distributing it evenly across the 2 channels, it'll just do that evenly. But if you're using the automatic placements, you can just know that it's going to go up to X amount of money per day.
Why you jealous, Jenny? Why you jealous?
Once we have our ad, now also, just so everyone knows, of course, this is how things work. The more money you put in, the more eyes you're going to get in front of. But that doesn't necessarily mean we want to throw all of our money on here without having that strategic plan behind it. So this is why we have set up all of our Facebook targeting. We've tried to word our ad as best as possible, because we want to spend our money wisely and not spend a ton of money on this ad and still yield great results. So even if you do a shorter time span, maybe you just want to run it for the weekend, you want it to end on Monday, then that $30 is going to be $10 a day, $5 across the channels, and that can lead to more, a good amount of leads as well. Once we hit save and we see that all of our criteria here has a green check mark, we can click on Publish Campaign, and it would go into its approval process and be off and running. So this is an example of how you can run an ad to advertise a listing. I'm going to save this as a draft. And the other example that I want to do with you guys is to run an ad that's highlighting a neighborhood. So you don't have a listing in particular, but maybe you want to help buyers in the area, or just get more leads, get more contacts, get your name in front of more people. And that's where you can do a homes for sale in a specific town type of ad. Now, I have learned this from Nick Baldwin. What I've previously done is created an ad here based on his suggestions. I have taken a template for a just listed Facebook image. I swapped out the image with a image from our, here's our images, from our workspace. And in the image workspace, there is a folder that says House Exteriors. So a great idea that he had is to select a house that looks like a home you would find in the area you're targeting, and simply make that your background image. Instead of advertising a specific property, simply just put in homes in Rutherford or whatever town you are trying to target. And then a little note here to click for the list, or click for listings, however you want to word it. I have renamed this Design Homes in Rutherford, and I've already downloaded it. So I'm now going to go back into my campaign section, and we're going to create another campaign. It's going to be a social ad, and this one is going to be homes for sale in Rutherford. And with this one, I'm trying to attract buyers. So we're trying to find buyers who are looking for agents to help them purchase a home. I am advertising multiple, listings available in an area, and we want to try to find buyers who are interested in these homes. Again, I'm going to select Facebook and Instagram and click on Create Campaign. Now, this is a little bit different, where we aren't going to add a listing. Notice how, because I chose a different goal, that select listing did not automatically pop up, and it landed me directly on the Create Campaign section. That's because the system knows we're not promoting a listing. We're going to be putting our own content in here. So what I'm going to do first is add in my image. I can come here to Media, and I can click on Select Media. I can click on Add Images, so I can either take it directly from my designs library or upload it. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to drag and drop here and click on preview and crop. It is that social square, so it's going to fit perfectly. And here we go. So now I have my ad here. We're going to come back up to the text. This is a great, tidbit that Nick Baldwin had passed along for what your main copy can read. Homes for sale in Rutherford. Rutherford is a sought-after destination for home buyers. And then he suggests to pick 2 or 3 things that people like that relate to this town. So we can write something along the lines of great school. Let me fix that. Wow, my typing is really delayed. This is not too helpful. Great school system. Homes with character on every block. And then trendy shops and restaurants. I definitely spelled restaurants wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. So that's just a little bit of ad copy here. We're not talking about a specific property. We're not saying, come look, I can help you find your home. It's about the town. It's about the features that the town offers. And then our headline can, again, be very simple. Homes for sale in, let's see if I have room. No room. So I'm just going to delete for sale and put homes in Rutherford, NJ. And then our description. And again, we can do something very simple. What was one of the ones that they had? Let me help you find your next home. There we go. I'm going to save my copy. Now I'm going to come back to my Facebook and Instagram settings. Again, I'm going to select my page, Facebook lead form. And in this instance, I'm going to again include a link from my website. But what I have done is already done a search for the Rutherford town. So let me go back here and I can show you exactly how we got here. Super easy. You're just going to go to your website. If you're newer to KW and you don't know how to find your URL, in command in the consumer area, that's where you'll be able to find your link. So while I'm on my website, I'm going to type in Rutherford and click on Rutherford, New Jersey. Now, this link here is always going to be relevant because it is a live link, and anytime someone clicks on it, the homes that are included in this search are going to be, the most up-to-date homes available. So you don't have to worry about this link not working or not showing the proper information after a certain amount of time. This is a great thing to note because this allows us to run this ad multiple times at any point during the year, and it's always going to be relevant. So you can run an ad like this maybe once a month, every other week. If you have a couple different towns that you are a local expert in, you can highlight all 3 of those towns in different ads, whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm now going to take this link, come back into my campaigns, and I'm going to add that in right there. Just wait for that. There we go. So now when someone clicks on learn more, they will be brought directly to my website so they can view all of the homes that are currently for sale in Rutherford. See how easy that is? Now here's where we come down again to the custom audience. So what I can do is go to my saved audiences and select Rutherford. If I wanted to make any edits, I can. So I can come in here and want to edit my audience. Maybe I can come in here. Single family detached home. Loan, mortgage loans, and first time buyer. There we go. I'm going to update my audience and save. There we go. So if you've created an audience and you realize that you want to add additional keywords or delete any keywords, you can do that in the saved audience spot. I see we have a hand. If you have a question, you feel free to unmute yourself and I can help you out. Gopi?
Just a quick few questions as you're.
Sure.
So when you create this ad for a local listing, so that listing should it's going to be for all the agents available in the NJMLS. Am I correct understanding this thing?
When you can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
When I run this ad for a particular town, whatever house are listed at current point from different agents, everything will be showed up on my website. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes. That is one thing to note about the Keller Williams website, as well as the Keller Williams Buy and Sell app, which is available for all of your clients to download. They take listings from everywhere. It's not just our office. It's not just Keller Williams. It is anything from any MLS. So you see right here, this home is courtesy of Schmidt Real Estate, Access Home, Keller Williams Prosperity, couple KW Park Views, Coldwell Banker. So it doesn't matter what brokerage listed the property, it will still show up on this search here.
Okay. And one more question. As you're recommending use the business page for the Facebook ads, is there any reason behind it, or is just like otherwise the Facebook won't run that ad if it's not on the business page?
Correct. You have to have a business page. You can't run an ad from a personal account. It has to be run through a business page.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. So now I am back in my ad. I'm going to click save. And again, I can configure my lead settings. So maybe I want to have a different tag. Facebook ad Rutherford Homes. Now, anytime I run this ad, whether it's now, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, I can still choose to use this same tag. And that way I can keep track of every single person that I've gotten as a lead from this particular ad. Same thing with the smart plan. Maybe you've got some great smart plan about nurturing leads and da-da-da-da-da. You can automatically add them to that smart plan. Then under duration and budget, again, you can do everything that you want and get everything set up. And when you're all set, you just hit publish campaign. So again, this is great. It updates in real time, so you can use it forever, and it is a phenomenal way to get leads. I also wanted to show you this. This is also from Crystal. So just a little bit about building your online presence. I can share this with you all as well, but this is just a guide to help you figure out how you want to build your presence and what you want to promote. What's your goal? Who are you? What story do you tell? More importantly, I wanted to share this with you. So these are some third-party resources. This is where you can find some royalty-free imaging. I just put that in the chat right there. Animated photos. I like this Canva before Canva was Canva, Bitmoji, and then there's also the nationaldaycalendar.com. So this is really fun. If you're ever at a loss and you have no idea what to post, but you got to put something out there, go to this website and you'll be able to find, what quote unquote day it is. So today, let's see. Looks like today is National Radio Day, National Podcast Day, National Day of the Classroom. So you can always come in here. Oh, May 25th, tomorrow, guys, National Wine Day. Get ready, get your social posts ready. National Wine Day tomorrow. But this is a great thing. So you can come here and say, okay, I'm completely out of ideas for today or tomorrow. Here we go. You'll be able to somehow spin this and you can relate it to yourself. So great way to build your online presence here. And this is also an article that she's shared on business marketing and advertising, which I will put in the chat as well. And finally, I found this online earlier. This just has some examples of some completed ads. That way you can take a look at what they look like and what they will actually look like when they are live. So here's a listing sneak peek ad coming soon. We have a fantastic new listing at the ranch. Notice how there's no address, there's no price, There's no details, but you're interested. It's coming soon, fantastic. Use emojis. It looks really good. Classic example of a new listing ad with great eye-catching design. Love it. A home evaluation Facebook ad. Instantly get your home's current estimated value for free. What is your home really worth? So this is great. It's a professional looking ad. And I like this little note here. Note the subtle difference in the copy. They're not asking, what is your home worth? They're saying, what's your home really worth? This reminds readers that many home evaluation sources like Zillow are far from accurate. Up to you if you want to name drop the big Z word. I don't know how compliant that might be, but we can find that out. But definitely, a great idea to get people to come to you. And this is something of value that you're offering to them. Simple listing ad on Facebook. Now, this does include the street address here, but the copy is short, sweet, and to the point. Stellar home on Kite Hill. Looks super cute, tiny home. You click on it, you'll learn more about it. Video listings. So this is what I mentioned before, where you can upload videos. That way, if you do want someone to see, a quick little video tour of the home or maybe the surrounding area, if you've got some nice drone footage or something like that, you can have that included as well. Same thing here. This is giving you more information and more detail. And then an agent branding video. So classic branding, that's a fantastic video to introduce the agent. Brightly colored background makes it stand out. So if you haven't done anything that's really going to promote yourself, feel free to do that. If you're involved with any organizations, whether it's, a food bank, a women's shelter, an animal shelter, you coach your kids' soccer games, you are involved with the town, you're a councilman, any and everything slightly outside the world of real estate. Use that as a way to promote yourself. People still rely on that human connection. We want to work with people who we like. That's what it all comes down to. So don't always be business, business, business. Give people a reason to want to get to know you outside of that business level. And by highlighting any phenomenal work that you do to give back or to, help others, it's just going to make you look even better than you already are. So everyone, that is my spiel about running ads and creating them on Facebook. We went through 2 different examples of advertising a listing and trying to attract buyers by advertising homes in a particular area. There's a ton of other ideas out there. Feel free to browse around on YouTube, do a little Google search, Facebook ads for realtors, anywhere where you can find ideas and inspiration, take it. I would never, say, if you see someone's idea, steal it and run with it, but you can absolutely borrow from it and use that as inspiration, grow. So if you see something like this and you're like, wow, I love it. Don't copy it word for word. Don't copy their idea, but you can certainly use it as a basis for your copy. You can grow from it. That was convenient timing. Before we say goodbye, does anyone have any additional questions that I can answer for you?
No, all good.
All good.
Thank you, Amanda.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome, everyone. I'm going to put my email in the chat for you guys. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. If you guys do run some ads and you find great success, or maybe you have a little bit of struggles, you want to take a look at it together, let me know. I'm more than happy to discuss that with you. I wish you all the best of luck. If you feel inspired, you can, just use a little bit of money and do a little testing, see how it turns out. You can always, continue to improve once you get that starting place. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great day and good luck.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
You better be on my